right, good morning from the live desk. Let's get you out to Live 16, folks. This is the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C., where there have been reports this morning of a shooting. At this point, no information on casualties, and there's been no confirmation of actual shots fired or a shooter identified. That said, it is happening in Building 197, the same building that was targeted by a gunman who shot and killed 12 people back in 2013. We have just learned that a lockdown has been lifted at the nearby U.S. Department of Transportation. And if we switch gears, I want to show you Live 17. This is the White House. We can actually tell you that there are reports from folks in Washington that they are noticing a greater police presence around the White House, and that's probably to be expected, most likely just as a precaution given everything that is going on at the Navy Yard there in D.C. But again, just to stress, no reports of any casualties or injuries at this time, Brad and Kelly, and no reports of any actual shots being fired, only hearing from witnesses who say that there was some commotion inside the building. Hey, welcome back. Paris mentioned just before the commercial break, Metro buses being rerouted around a fire in Federal Way. Take a look. This is that fire right here, sent to us by a KOMO News viewer on Twitter. Officials tell us it's one alarm. The home, though, clearly going to have severe damage. This is at 320th. At 21st in Federal Way. It sounds as though crews have this under control. We may have some information a little bit later on a preliminary cause. We can tell you no reports of any injuries this morning.
For us from the live desk, Cayle.
Yeah, good morning to you, and some developments here in just the last couple of minutes. Let's take you out to Chicago. That is where United is headquartered, and you can see here that ground stop affecting a lot of flights at O'Hare, also at SeaTac. We'll get back to that here in just a moment. A little improvement, though, guys. The FAA now saying these smaller regional carriers that contract with United, they're okay to take off. The mainline flights, though, are still grounded while the company hammers out what it is calling an issue with its network connection. Go ahead and switch gears here. Let's go back to SeaTac Airport. If you are flying in or out of SeaTac this morning, go ahead, check with your flight, because if you're flying on a United mainline flight, it's going to be impacted by this. And we are hoping, Brad and Kelly, that this is something that could be resolved within about the next 45 minutes. We're hearing 7:15 might be a time that everything's back up and running. Of course, we'll keep eyes on that. Hey, good morning from the live desk. We're getting some new information on this tanker crash in Birmingham, Alabama this morning. This is video posted on YouTube just a short time ago. The plume of smoke you see there from a tanker truck that we now know was carrying 9,000 gallons of fuel. It exploded after crashing with a car. At least 4 people hurt. Some had to be airlifted to a hospital from the scene. There were also some evacuations ordered this morning, and officials now saying cleanup is going to take a while. Brad and Kelly, hazmat currently on scene. They say they're going to be there for a better part of the day. Good morning to you. We just got off the phone with Delta Airlines, Brad and Kelly, after one of their planes had to make an emergency landing early this morning at SeaTac Airport. Delta telling us just a few minutes ago the flight from Atlanta to Anchorage apparently experienced what they're calling an engine surge in one of its engines. The pilots made the call to shut that engine off, and then were able to land at SeaTac. Everybody's fine, but the plane will have to stay at SeaTac to be serviced and inspected. We're told the passengers on board that flight, Delta is hoping to have them rebooked on another flight on to Alaska here at about 6:45 this morning. We'll wait and see if they are able to do that.
Traffic moving at 15 miles per hour. But Cayle, he has some video from a viewer along that scene, so let's get to him.
Yeah, Paris, good morning to you. Go ahead. I have to step away from the camera to play this. Take a look, guys, at Live 20 as I hit play here. This is video that just came in from a KOMO viewer on Twitter, and I'm going to pause it as they pass this truck right here, and you can see right there the flames that are shooting from the engine. If we lose the lower third, you can see the flames before they drive right by. So obviously, Paris, they are able to get around, but it is going to be slow going in places because of that fire here this morning. So if you're going to be there near Southeast 8th on 405 between Renton and Bellevue, might want to find another route. Hey, we are just getting reports here into the live desk of an officer shot while sitting in his car, ambushed apparently by 4 suspects in St. Louis, Missouri. That's not far, of course, from all the unrest that we saw in Ferguson. I've seen a picture of the car this morning, Brad and Kelly. It looks like there are at least a dozen bullet holes in the windshield, but there is some good news here this morning. Authorities say he was breathing and conscious as he was rushed to the hospital, and he was wearing a bulletproof vest. As soon as we have more information on this, of course, we'll be sure to bring it to you. Working to get an update on his condition still this morning. Wow, this is absolutely incredible. If you're just waking up with us, go ahead and take a look at this. Live 20, guys. This is the best picture yet that we have of Pluto. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft is whizzing by the planet as we speak, sending back some incredible images as it does. Take a look at Live 17 as well, guys. This is a reporter getting ready to do an interview here, but you can see the crowds in the background. This is live at NASA this morning, where we saw cheers erupt and we saw U.S. flags waving just about 30 seconds ago. The spacecraft has traveled 9 years and more than 3 billion miles for this one image right here. And guys, I can tell you NASA will be holding a briefing here in the next couple of minutes. We'll be watching that, and I'll be back to let you know what they say about this. But not only a historic moment for science, but just really cool to watch.
Yeah, just stunning shots now of that dwarf planet.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.